Good morning, students, and thank you for joining me for another edition of Virtual Science Classroom. I'm your host, Ms. Weeks, and today we're going to cover any questions you might have about our new classroom setting. A virtual classroom isn't really all that different from an in-person classroom. In fact, all of you have already become experts at being independent online learners. That's right. You have what it takes to succeed in a virtual classroom. Seriously, don't you already know how to open and save things to your Google Drive? Can't you already access resources on Clever, Canvas, and our class website? Don't you know how to check, read, and send emails? Sure you do. And if you don't worry. I've got videos coming soon about those topics and more. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. We should all have the Today's Work Google Doc open as shown on the screen. If you don't, pause the video and take a moment to open it. You can find the link on our class website or on my Clever site. Remember, at any time while watching this video, if you need help, you can visit me at our live classroom. The link can be found on Today's Work. It can also be found on Clever. If you haven't already joined the live classroom, pause the video now and take a moment to join us. Then come back to the video and finish watching it. Let's take a moment now to explore our virtual classroom. If you don't already have the class website or Clever open, take a moment to open those now. If the class website is giving you trouble, you can always just use Clever. I'm going to start by showing you the class website. Not a lot has changed. You can still find links to important resources such as Today's Work, our class schedule, classroom rules, the agenda, the link to our live lessons, the link to our science practice, information from the district, and information for your parents. These same resources can also be found on my Clever site. Here's our classroom website, Canvas, Today's Work, our class schedule, the link to our live lesson, the link to science practice, the link to our live classroom, our classroom rules, and the agenda. Nothing about our class structure has changed. Our time together will be spent with a learning goal in mind. We are here to learn. With that being said, there are a few new classroom expectations that we all must follow in order for us to get the most out of our lessons. Let's click on Class Rules. Remember, you can also access this page through Clever. There are 6 expectations here that I want you to read about during our science practice time. There is also a section about virtual classroom best practices. Let's click now on Class Schedule. Notice that we only meet on Monday and Wednesday from 10:30 to 10:55 for our live science lesson. Our live lesson, like the video you're watching now, will take place first starting at 10:30 and will end around 10:55. After, you will have time to practice what you learned in our live lesson in our science practice time from 11 to 11:25. Our live lesson format will change to best fit what we are learning about. Sometimes you will watch a pre-recorded video while I am available live at the same time. Other times, we will meet in a program such as Canvas, Pear Deck, Padlet, or Zoom. You can visit me again during our all-subject tutorial time, 2:30 to 3, Monday through Friday. Now, let's click on the agenda. This document shows the breakdown of what activities will be delivered during our time together and how much time we should be spending on each activity. There may be times when we don't have a warm-up or an exit ticket, and that will be reflected on today's work. Remember, everything that we're seeing is also available on Clever. To make it easier for you to quickly access our class resources, let's make a new folder in our Bookmarks bar. Once you have made one for science, you can easily follow the steps again to make one for your other classes. I am using a laptop for this demo, so instructions you see may vary slightly if you are using a device such as an iPad or a cell phone. Don't forget, I am available live on Zoom right now. You can join by clicking on the link in today's work. Click here if you need help live now. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make the bookmark folder. Here is your bookmark bar. You can see I already have some folders made. One that says Classroom, one that says Applications, and one that says Goodnight. If you have a mouse, put your cursor on a blank spot on the bookmark bar and right-click. It will open up a tab of options. If you don't have a mouse, you can put your cursor on the bookmark bar and then double tap on your mouse pad on your Chromebook. It should bring up the same option. Click on Add Folder. Title it Science. And click Save. You will see a new folder was added to your bookmark bar. Now you can drop and drag resources into this folder that you access daily. For example, we're on today's work. All you need to do is click here to make the link blue. Then you click and hold and notice how you can drag around the page. Put it on top of your science folder and let go. When you click on your folder, you'll see that the page is there under science. You can close today's work. And when you click on it through your bookmark, it'll pop back up. It's kind of a shortcut. You can add whatever you think is important, such as the weekly schedule, classroom rules. Whoops. You'll see online learning isn't going to always be smooth at first. You're always going to find something to go wrong. Don't worry, we'll work through it. I hope you feel comfortable with accessing the resources we will need for our virtual class. Make sure you click on the science practice link in today's work. To complete your practice for today. In case you are feeling overwhelmed, don't. Virtual learning is new to all of us, and no one is expecting you to be an expert right off the bat. You saw I had some trouble when making this video. We are going to learn together as we go, just like we've always done. And you guys have always done a great job in class. So relax, and I'll see you next time for another edition of Virtual Science Classroom.